So,
Ole Taualaga,
lima lunga. Oy, kafiola, lima lunga. Yes, sir.
Ole Mali, ese mai wa matalofi, Tabalotino,
Oy,
Tamalpari Manino, Yafata Mali, Uwana Ola
The Taualaga is the final touch to all of your fear. You know, the Taualaga is the same word that gives to the top part of the fire. You know, when it's there, that means the whole thing is finished. You know, it's not completely protected from the rain or from the sun before the Taualaga is put there. Malu.
Whenever there's a visitation by another village and you've done the Ava ceremony, you've done the speeches, the exchanges, the climax of the whole day is the Taualaga. The Taupo, being the chief's daughter, is given the honour to represent that village in the dance. She represents the malu, or the dignity or the honour of the village, just like how a daughter, represents the malu of her family.
I think what I love the most about the Taupo is that she epitomises those roles and characteristics of Samoan women in society. For example, the strength in her is often reflected in the different actions that she takes, the grace of her movement, and just that sense of mamalu, dignified and stateliness. And to me, that epitomises the Samoan woman that's strong, graceful, but also holds herself well, whether that be within a family context, as a mother. All of us have that aspect of being a taupo within our lives.
It's so special, although that it's the end, but the urge of shouting, here comes the pride in the village or the pride in the family. And this is why you see people crawling and people, hitting everything, get out, make way. Her Majesty or, our special daughter from our hearts is going to put the end to this.
About the Samoan Festival of Rhythm, there is always a chiefess of the dance, honored in this way for her beauty and popularity. This is not the girl. Wait. There she is, with maids of honor. No doubt about her regal beauty.
The taupo e maluai aing. And this is when, I dance. It comes out of my heart. Yes, I am here for you and you are there for me. You see my hands going. This is where the tamaitai should be soft. It should be gentle. It should be spiritual. When it comes to the war, we are looking at the internal war. She has a part, her thautua, her advice and her peacemaking vision, is brought up by the Nifooki. I think she is warning, take care. I can also be strong, I can also be cruel.
I guess it's a statement that when we go to war or when we're in conflict, it's our leaders who lead out front. And so when she comes on with that Nifo'oti, it's reflecting those statements about leadership.
Taupos present the Nifo'oti differently. Some come in so graceful and they hold the Nifo'oti, in their fingers and they almost sort of, treating it with reverence, okay? Whereas others believe that it's a weapon, so it should be wielded like a weapon, getting ready to strike. In the old days, they used to have this practice called Fasavali Tuinga. Basically what it means is to take the Tuinga for a walk. And what that practice really was to have the taupo with a Tuinga and walk through the village, sort of lay claim on my dad owns us. And what that creates is a bit of tension because, every village has more than one elite. So there's been a lot of conflict over who wears the Tuinga, especially with Taualaga as well.
When I watch a Taupo dance, I'm always looking at the headpiece. The original tuingas, the old tuingas that I've seen, they were like in 4 or 5 pieces. The ones that you see nowadays is just a one piece that just gets slotted onto the head. But those ones were 5 pieces of material or siapo that was woven into the hair, tightly fitting the scalp. So it was very hard going to wear them. And of course, it's all upright as well. So there's an element of balance. There's an element of you had to be graceful. Nowadays, it's all feathers and just a little bit of hair. And often it's those hair that you buy from the Asian shops. And that's the sad part of it, because they forget that the dance is not just her, the dance is with her ancestors. The belief is that the mana of the ancestors are carried by the person who wears the tuinga. That's why true tuingas are not just used by anyone, they're always used by people that are related to that headpiece.
It brings out all the heart and soul of our ancestors, because we feel we owe so much to them. It reflects the role of the tamaitai in the family. There can be a lot of problem, people turning sides to sides, all the trouble, burning up, But then here comes the tamaitai with the decisions that will bring peace.
She's commanding power, and that's probably best reflected in the role of the whiangainga, the brother-sister relationship. In the dance, the brother is the aiuli, who is forever on the fringe, but committed to her. So his whole focus, his eyes, his movements are about elevating her movements. The faithfulness of a brother, the commitment of a brother. And she reflects the sisterhood. Her compassion, that's in her grace of her movement, has shown her compassionate part of her role in society, caring for the children of the brothers, being that sacrifice for the village, and also her strength, because the women, the whiangainga, traditionally had the power to bless and to curse.
If we row our canoe together, then we will get to our goal. If we don't, we'll either to the cliff or on the reef. And I'm sure we don't want to land there. And this all comes out in the Taualaga. You see me all of a sudden, I remember, I have to be strong. I remember I have to bring the decision to, when my hands are going like this, smoothing the way, guiding the way, when there are 2 ways, then we have to bring it together so that we will stand strong. This is one moment where all of a sudden Samoa is brought together because of this Taualaga. And this is why I always love and I always promote. My own girls, I taught them to dance well and to be proud as a woman, but at the same time behave and live it. I really think that